Whenever I watch other YouTubers, be that MrWhosTheBoss or even LTT, I always wonder what goes into their videos. How do they get from the ideas in their head to a finished video? So that's what I want to do today. I want to take you guys along for the ride as I show you my creation process, from the ideas in my head all the way to filming, editing and uploading of these videos. I really hope you enjoy this video. It's going to be a long one, so strap in as I take you along for a normal week in Reviewclu. Hello everybody, my name is Robert and this is Reviewclu. Let's start off with planning my week. Now, I normally shoot 2 videos a week, one on a Wednesday, one on a Saturday. I find that gives me enough time to actually produce the video, but also gives you guys enough content to watch. I think one of the biggest questions that YouTubers are always asked is, how do you come up with your ideas? Especially in the tech scene, this is difficult. I'm in quite a privileged position where third-party companies or even third-party entities will send me products for free for review, and I'm really grateful for that. But I do also understand that sometimes if a new phone is coming out and I'm particularly excited about it, or I know it's going to make a good video, for example the Xiaomi series of phones, I will always spend my money on that. I will spend my own money to get this thing in because I know in the tech industry it pays to be first. So when it comes to planning, pretty much all of my planning is done on the iPad Pro 2020. I'll start off with just the notepad and be jotting down ideas. This is great because the iPad is so small and lightweight, I can basically carry it everywhere with me. And you never know when an idea is going to come to mind. However, if I'm in the office here, I do also have a whiteboard in the corner, and I'll normally scroll down all of my ideas on there as well. And it gives me a good opportunity to kind of look at that board and pick out 1 or 2 ideas for that week. Now, I know what you're thinking. An iPad Pro is a little bit overkill for this research and brainstorming process, and you'd be right. But this isn't the only time the iPad is going to show up in my workflow, and you'll see why it plays an important part a little bit later. Once I've got my 2 ideas, I'll put them into Moleskine Journey. This is just like a journaling planning app for the iPad and the iPhone and even the Mac. And I really like it because it's elegant and it's simple to use. I'll normally put down the title and a quick description of what I expect the video to be, then break that down into smaller tasks. Something like actually researching, writing a script, recording A-roll, recording B-roll, editing, and so on and so forth. It's really good to break down these tasks as much as you can, because what that does is that gives you a sense of progress. Sometimes not being able to see this progress is pretty disheartening. So just having it there as a checklist is a good way to 1, remember you're not missing anything, and 2, it's a really good way to see just how much progress you are making. Next up is the research and the script writing. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know, most of my videos don't seem like they're scripted, but they actually are. Most of the time, I will completely script a video, especially for things like a year in Reviewclu or my last announcement video about the slut token. Those videos were completely written and scripted because those kind of things are. But sometimes when I'm reviewing or unboxing a product, it's just easier to start with a small script, maybe even a few bullet points for each thing that I want to talk about. It's really important to have some kind of script because, let's be honest, nobody likes rambling. And I've made a few rambling videos in the past and trust me, they don't do well. The actual script writing happens across both my iPad Pro and my M1 MacBook Pro. Now, you're going to see a running theme here with the Apple ecosystem, but there is a really good reason for that. And this is just one of those reasons. I can start writing a script on a train on the way home from work, and then as soon as I get in, I can just pick up my laptop and start exactly where I left off. Of course, this is nothing new, and it's not really something that just the Apple ecosystem does anymore. You can go ahead and just open up a Google Doc, start writing on whatever tablet you've got, and then bring it home to your laptop or desktop. It's a really useful tool, and to be able to just write down ideas and start scripting anywhere you are. The script writing is quite possibly the longest part of the video process, but I know it pays to get it right. Once I've finished writing my script, I just simply export it as a PDF and attach it to that Moleskine Journey. The reason I do that is, for 1, keeping it all in one place so I don't forget it, and 2, it's just nice to be able to attach something like that so I know where it is at all times. So we've written our script. Next up, we've got to set up the recording space. This is where things get a lot less glamorous. I do pretty much all of my videos in the office here. I used to do it just behind the camera where I've got the nano leaves set up on my desk. But since my birthday, I got a couple of new lights. These are the newer smart metal LED lights, and they are an absolute lifesaver. I now do all of my videos on a white background, and I place these bad boys just behind where I stand, so we get a nice visual difference of a splash of colour on that backdrop. The lights themselves are the best purchase I think I've ever made. We can actually adjust all of the settings either on the lights themselves with the two knobs on the back. This can be colour, saturation, hue, and even the white balance, so you can have a warmer light or a whiter light. But you can also do all of this from the mobile app, and this mobile app is a lifesaver. It's so easy to be able to change up a scene, and lighting makes all the difference to a YouTube video. In front of me, I've got the Pixel G1S attached to a rather broken tripod. I really should just buy a new one, but I kind of, one, am lazy, and two, I'm attached to this thing. I've had this thing for a long time, and it's got me through so many videos, I've kind of become attached to it. To help with lighting me from the front as well, I've also got the nano leaves on a bright white light, and these things are bright. That casts a nice lot of light on the front of my face while still giving me that visual depth with the colour in the background. Okay, so we're all set up visually. What about audio? Now, I do have a little bit of confession here. Up until this point, I really didn't care too much about my audio. To be fair, I just recorded off of my iPhone's microphone. But over time, I've learned that audio is just as important as the lighting when it comes to YouTube videos. This is why I've got the Yishuang YC-VM40. It's just a standalone lapel mic which connects up to my iPhone via the lightning cable and gives me much cleaner and crisper sound for about £30. And I hope it does make a difference to my videos. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the new audio. So we've got our lighting and we've got our audio, but how are we actually going to record this? Well, that's the joy. I use my iPhone 11 Pro, but I do it slightly differently. I use the Filmic app alongside it. The main reason I chose to use Filmic is because I like to shoot in log. This basically just takes all of the colour out of the video and allows you to replace it in post-production through DaVinci Resolve or whatever colour correction program you're using. But it also gives us a much more finite control over a lot of different features, including the ISO, where we're focusing, and colour grades. And that's the joy. I don't need a super expensive camera or a DSLR. I can shoot everything that I need for, I would like to think, a high quality YouTube channel just off of my phone alone. So let's talk about actually recording. Now, I tend to shoot about double or triple the amount of footage that I actually need, just because I'm not particularly good at reading off of a script. I've got my script up here on my iPad, and I read bits at a time off to the camera, and the amount of times that you'll just have footage of me looking down at an iPad, reading the next part of the script, or I'll mess it up. And that's pretty normal. Most people are not great at reading off of a script at first, but over time it does come naturally. So once we've got all of this footage, how am I going to get it over to where I'm going to edit it on the MacBook? Well, this is why I love the Apple ecosystem. Because normally you'd have to plug in your phone and you'd have to drag all of those across, or you'd upload them to somewhere like a cloud storage and download it the other side. Well, that's not the case here. I simply just go into my Filmic app, choose the videos that I need to transfer, and click AirDrop. AirDrop is super duper useful, and it is why I own so many different Apple devices at this point, because everything just works so well together. No wires, no cloud service, no mess. It is just a one button go for being able to get everything that I need from one place to another. Footage on the Mac, coffee in hand, I load up DaVinci Resolve. Now, there are a couple of reasons I use DaVinci Resolve. The main one though is because it's free. 2, it's professional, and 3, it's one of the only video editing apps that's free right now that's actually optimized for the M1 MacBook Pro. If you want me to hear a little bit of a video on the M1 MacBook Pro, I'll leave it up in the cards, and if you want to see a more in-depth one, let me know in the comment section and I will be sure to do so. While you're down there as well, if you're enjoying this video and you've got this far in, don't forget to get subscribed. My editing process is pretty normal to everyone else's. I'll start with all of my A-roll. A-roll is just me doing this, talking to the camera. I will color grade all of this to exactly how I want. I won't cut any footage until I've color graded it to how I like it. Then I'll watch through and cut out all of the useless stuff that I don't need, all of the looking down at the iPad, all of the bits where I'm just saying the wrong lines. And this normally gets me to a video of about 10 minutes long, and that's the sweet spot for me. I think 10 minutes is a good video length. Once I've done that, I'll start to watch it through, just all of my A-roll. And I'll start to jot down bits of the B-roll that I need. For example, right now, I need some B-roll of me sat down at my Mac, actually editing this video. Once I've added all of that B-roll, I'll add in my intro, my outro, and any overlays like the subscribe one that you're seeing right now. And that's pretty much it. The video is ready to go. I just go along to my export tab, set it as the YouTube default, and I go. So that's it, right? No, far from it. We've still got a lot of work to do to get a YouTube video up and seen by you guys. Obviously, we're going to be uploading this thing, but then we've got to talk about the dreaded 3 letters, SEO, or search engine optimization. This is everything like your tags, your video description, your video title, and the ways that you're going to get the YouTube algorithm to see this and to share it to people. Now, normally I do like to do this myself, but it does take a lot of time, especially finding the right tags. And that's why I use TubeBuddy, and I think anyone who has a YouTube channel should be using TubeBuddy, or vidIQ is another one. What it allows you to do is it will tell you some tags that it thinks are relevant to your video, and then you can just tick them off a list. It's really, really simple, and it makes my life a hell of a lot easier when getting these videos uploaded. It will even do things like cards and end screens, and it just alleviates some of the pain of getting a video ready and optimized. So it's uploaded. But now we've got potentially the most important thing, and that is thumbnails. This is where the iPad Pro comes into its own. So I use Photoshop on the iPad, and that's how I do all of my thumbnails. I like to be able to actually touch things and draw. So I will go ahead and just find some stock images of the product that I'm talking about. Now, I find stock images to be 1, pretty eye-catching, 2, they look alright, and 3, they're really easy to edit into a thumbnail. It does seem like cheating at times, but I can do a couple of things to really make it mine. That includes adding my branding colours and my branding design straight to that thumbnail, so you know as soon as you see that thumbnail, it's a video from me. So there we have it, guys. That is exactly what goes into my video process, all the way from conception in my mind, all the way to actually uploading it for you guys to watch. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you did, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear about your YouTube stories as well. And of course, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification icon, because we've got so much more content coming up, and I cannot wait to share it with you all. Anyway, guys, my name's been Robert, this has been Reviewclu, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.